Hey there folks, Luke here with the Outdoor Group Review. I hope you are all doing well. Today, it is time to pass down my verdict on the Outback Swag's Pioneer Swag tent. Now, you guys have seen a preview on this tent. You guys have seen an overnight adventure with this tent, where this tent failed on a catastrophic level. Go ahead and get comfortable. Let's get to the review. Now folks, I'm going to go over the stats very quickly and then jump right into the review. Now if you want more information about this tent, every single detail, watch the preview. I will have a link in the description box for you guys down below. This video is mainly focusing on the review. Now the price for this tent here is $300. I have seen it as low as $250 at campsaver.com. Now this tent here includes a foam mattress, which is incredibly comfortable. And that brings the weight for this tent up to 20 pounds. It is 11 pounds without the mattress. The material for this tent is a 12-ounce ripstop canvas, supposedly waterproof, and we'll get to that in just a minute. It is 7 feet by 3 feet, with 31 inches of head clearance. It has a PVC vinyl floor with 3 aluminum poles. It includes 2 guy ropes, 8 pegs, and it has 4 storage compartments. Since we've gone over the stats, I'll give you guys a quick overview of this tent. This is the front entrance right here. Right here is the second entrance. You can pull back this canvas top. You can roll it up. This is the foot box for the tent. Before I pull this back, as you can see here, you have this canvas flap which goes over the zipper, which protects it. The same goes down here. You have the flap protecting the zippers. Once you have the cover pulled back, as you can see there, it's very meshy, very breathable. If you're in a dry environment, that really is nice to be able to look up at the stars while you're protected from the bugs and so on. So as you can see here, I zip back the mesh. Let's take a look on the inside. You have pockets over here. You have more pockets right here. Here is the mattress, which again, guys, is incredibly comfortable. It's an eggshell foam mattress, which absolutely rocks. Very comfortable, very thick. You can take this out if you want to. There's the door. As you can see, you can roll it back, tie it off. Going down to the foot box. Pulling out the mattress here, as you can see, it is very good size, roughly 2 inches thick. Again, extremely comfortable. It has a cover on it, so you can take this off and wash it. Or if you have to dry your tent out, if your sleeping pad is full of water, like mine has been, you can take it off and let it dry. Now folks, as I mentioned before, this tent has failed me on a catastrophic level. On a level that could be extremely dangerous. Essentially what happened is this. I brought it out for an overnight trip, which you guys saw, the Testing Grounds 3. You can watch that video, do a search for it. Awesome adventure. Brought this tent out to do some weather testing, right? I wanted to see how well it would perform with wet weather, because all of my previous testing was very much dry. So brought it out, set it up. That night we had a series of rainstorms, thunderstorms, and when I woke up in the morning, the entire tent was full of water. It was incredibly damp and wet inside of that tent. So basically I took it home, dried it out 100%, set it up again, and left it out for another rainstorm. Came back the next morning, full of water. I was going to give the tent the benefit of a doubt. I assumed that I made some sort of user error. I didn't think so, but it's always possible, right? The second time, no way. So I dried it out again, and then really started looking around to see if I could pinpoint the issue, and I have been able to do that. This tent is surrounded by pinhole size holes, right? To me, it looks like a manufacturing error. Maybe the needle, which is doing the stitching here, didn't have any thread and just punched a hole through it, but there's little holes all the way around. You have to get really low to be able to see this. But as the water is rolling over the tent, it comes in through those holes. So I will close this up, take you guys inside so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, folks, inside of the tent now, and the issues with this tent are very apparent. Check this out. Let's start at the door, okay? What I want to focus on are little holes of light streaming through this tent, such as this down here. Take a look at that. That's light. Incomplete stitching, not 100% sealed. If light comes through, so does water. Moving over right here to this section. On the outside, this is the logo. Here's a hole. Right there's a hole. Another hole right here. Here in the other corner. Again, the same thing, right? Check it out. Additional holes. Not all the way up. It's only here and there. Now moving down to the center pole, check this out. Everything's fine and dandy until you get to this sewing job right here. Look at those holes. Light coming through, water comes through. That is not good. Keep on moving down. You can see down here at my feet, additional holes. You have the same issue down here on the other side as well. Now folks, I apologize for any wind noise. We have a front coming through. It's going to rain later on tonight, turn to snow tomorrow. But going back to the tent, you can see there where this tent has failed at, and there's a lot of issues. I mean, again, it does look like a needle has punched through. It looks like it was incorrectly seamed. So you have these holes, these gaps. It will be interesting to see if other people have issues with their Pioneer swag tent. Is this a one-off chance? Was this just a manufacturing defect? Things like that happen with any product. Even the best backpack in the world, somebody out there is going to get a defected model. It happens, right? So it's an interesting question. Are all of these tents like that, or is it just this one? For anybody that goes out to purchase a Pioneer swag tent, you need to make sure that the stitching and the seams are good. Make sure that there are no holes all the way around this bad boy, or it will leak like a sieve. During those thunderstorms, that first night out in the rain, this thing absolutely filled with water. And the truth is, I didn't notice it, even when I woke up. When I woke up, I noticed that it was extremely damp in there. But after being closed in, you know, it's understandable, right? All tents will hold some condensation. So as soon as I got out and started pulling my gear out, I pulled out the sleeping pad and the mattress, and it was pouring water. It had basically absorbed a lot of that water. So I was like, oh no, there's an issue. Now moving on from this issue, let's just talk about other negative aspects. For one, it is difficult to get in and out of this tent, especially if it's raining. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. I will go in. Now folks, I'm inside of the tent, as you can see here. One of the issues that I want to talk about, negative issues, is that this tent is very difficult to get in and out of. Most of the time you will leave your shoes outside. There's a piece of PVC on this side where you can put them. I usually just leave them right here next to the door unless it's raining. But let's say you're going to climb out of this. Now, if it's raining, you're not going to want to open the top, right? So you have to climb out. Now, I'm not a big guy, but this isn't necessarily easy for me by any means. Okay. The point of that demonstration is to show you just how small this tent is. This really is about the size of a bivvy more than a tent. And that makes it very tight, very confined. It's hard to get out of, it's hard to get into. If you're a big individual, you will find that it's very difficult to change clothes inside of this, to do the things that you need to do inside of this. Now, for myself, I can manage it, but it is very, very tight, especially when you put the mattress in. When you put the mattress in, you're losing about 2 inches off of the ground. So you're that much closer to the rest of the tent. So do keep that in mind. This is a bivvy more than a tent. Now, if the company is watching this video, please know that I'm happy to send this back to you guys so you guys can take a look at it, figure out what went wrong, and fix those issues. If the company wants to send me another one to test out, I will. Speaking of which, I have contacted the company in regards to these issues, and sadly, I haven't received a response from them. They saw the video where I was talking about my warning, basically saying, do not purchase this tent until I can figure out what the issues are. So they are familiar, they do know of what the problem is. So yeah, I don't know, they just haven't responded, I'm not sure why, but it's been over a week, going on to 2 weeks now. So no reply from them at all. That's a little bit alarming in my opinion. When it comes to the pros, well, the sleeping pad is the best sleeping mattress that I've ever spent the night on outdoors. Some of the best nights sleep I've ever had have come from this tent right here. I really like that mattress. You know, if it didn't leak, if it wasn't defective, this would be a very sturdy tent. It handles snow load well, not great. I've done 2 inches of snow on top of this, and it did just fine. It handles the wind just fine. When it comes to the cons, well, for one, defective model. It leaks like a sieve. 2, heavy, heavy, heavy. 3, very, very tight, very confined inside of there. And that really brings me to my next point, my next negative aspect. Now, this tent is way heavy. It's 20 pounds with the mattress, 11 pounds without it. This is for car camping, it's for hunting, throw it on the back of an ATV, stuff like that. Now, with that being the case, for being a car camping tent, I have to say that there are better tents out there. If you're a hunter, there are better tents out there. So for $300, this is a very expensive, very small tent. It's a very small shelter. For car camping, why not go with something that's bigger but as easy to set up? Or for hunting, why not go with something bigger? If you're not going to carry it, who cares, right? For this price point, you could get a really nice, really big tent that's also easy to set up at the same time. That would also weigh a whole lot less than this right here. Now, of course, you do get that mattress, and that mattress is awesome, but of course, you can get your own foam mattress anywhere very, very inexpensively. By the way, one thing I do want to talk about is that with many swag tents, you do have to condition them for wet weather. Essentially, you have to soak the canvas so it expands. I have done all of that stuff, and it just keeps on leaking. No amount of expansion is going to fix those seams, those holes there. So that is something to keep in mind. 2 Outback swags. Again, you guys are welcome to take this back. I'm happy to send it back to you all. If you guys can learn something from this review, from the mistakes that were made on this model, that would be great. Because in the end, the Outdoor Gear Review is here to help companies, outdoor companies, develop better products. So if there are flaws, there are criticisms, take them in stride, build upon them if you want to. That's it. That's all that I can do. Guys, thank you all for watching the Outdoor Gear Review, the home of the agenda-free review. And what that means is simple. The Outdoor Gear Review sells nothing. We have no store. We don't sell any products. We don't get any kickbacks. We do not care if you purchase these products or not. We are out to provide you with the most information, the most accurate information, real-world reviews. That is what the Outdoor Gear Review is all about. Until next time, strength and honor. Be well.